morning. Good morning. You are in New York City, Harlem, New York. And today is May 31st, 2026. And welcome to Unity in Harlem. Unity in Harlem welcomes all of you. And we are an open, inclusive, and diverse, welcoming community, a spiritual community that sees each person as a creation of the divine spirit. Through the study of metaphysical interpretations of the Bible and other sacred literature, you are invited to come to study group and to service to discover your own identity. Today, we are very, very honored to have a distinguished writer and minister in New Thought. It is Reverend Linda Martella-Whitsett. She will be giving the meditation and the message today, as well as the prayer of protection. But before we go further, I want to read something from the same author that I've been reading this month, and that is Reverend Conroy B. Wilson from Universal Foundation for Better Living. And I've been reading from Power, different power sources that we have. And I'd like to read his last piece. And it says, the power of your power. After several Sundays of 12 powers, you know you are not weak. You are not meant to live small. The power within you can and should express through your life. This power is nothing to fear and nothing to be ashamed of. It is not for dominating anyone or impulses or it is for mastering yourself. Maturity over impulses, steadiness in storms, and spiritual grounding in every season. Remember, each day, you are never powerless. You are fully equipped. When you live as your true, authentic self, you light up your world. Your presence can shift rooms, can shift feelings, can shift ideas. Your words carry life. Your work makes the world better. And because your power is God in you, it is expressing you. And these are the 12 powers I just want to review for you. Life, love, wisdom, understanding, strength, order, will, imagination, zeal, release, and the last power. As I said earlier, and thank you, we are going to have Reverend Linda Martella-Whitsett to give her talk today. And I want to read something that she wrote in her book that I've shown you before in Divine Audacity. And she writes, some moments are easier than others, right? How do we shine when we sense ourselves embroiled in darkness, when we are depressed, when we are feeling helpless or worried about the well-being of our loved ones, when someone close to us is dying, when a natural disaster wipes away an entire town and its people, when we are horrified by war or genocide. Jesus said, "For this I was born, and for this I came into the world, to testify to the truth." And that's John 18:37. When times are tough and the light appears dim, it helps to remember that you have come into the world to be the light of the world. It helps to focus attention every day on your spiritual identities, the ones that I've just read, those 12 faculties. As it helps to focus your attention on those 12 faculties or 12 abilities or 12 powers, it also helps to study and cultivate them. And you've heard Reverend Ogun talking about using them, especially when the light appears bright, so that in times of darkness, the light can overcome the dark. Daily practice makes this possible. So you are going to be really excited to hear from Reverend Linda Martella-Whitsett. And now I turn the program over to Marie, who will start our service in song. And our opening song, she will sing for you. So thank you for coming, and I'll be back later to talk about the announcements at Unity.
Good morning, everybody. Great to see you all, everybody here, yay, on a great day. Colossians 3:14 says, beyond all these things, put on and wrap yourself in unselfish love, which is the perfect bond of unity. For everything is bound together in agreement when each one seeks the best for others. John 17:22 and 23 say, I have given to them the glory and honor which you have given me, that they may be one, just as we are one. 23, I in them and you in me, that they may be perfected and completed into one, so that the world may know without any doubt that you sent me and that you have loved them just as you have loved me. That's John 17:22. You're a shining star, no matter who you are, shining bright to see who you could truly be. And now this song, after Earth, Wind, and Fire, we're going to sing Faith Rivera's Come to Be. If you want, called to be, if you want to sing it, sing along. I am called to be a healer for all humanity. I am called to be a dreamer, believe in what can be. I am called to be a maker, be an instrument of peace. I am called to be a giver, of abundance I receive. I am called to be a prayer, living out the truth I seek. I am called to be everything. I am called to be the glory here on earth, so all might see all the love and all the beauty that shines in you and me. I am the living, breathing God, and you are one in me. We are called to be. You are called to be a mother, to nurture family. You are called to be a brother, be strength in time of need. You are called to be a neighbor, see a friend in all you need. You are called to be a leader, to build community. You are called to be a prayer, living out the truth you seek. You are called to be everything. You are called to be the glory here on earth, so all might see all the love and all the beauty that shines in you and me. Ooh, the living, kindness, see broken-hearted free. We are called to be forgiveness, where pain has run too deep. We are called to be compassion, be the wind beneath each wing. We are called to be communion, only then can we succeed. We are called to be a prayer, living out the truth we seek. We are called to be everything. We are called to be the glory here on earth, so all might see all the love and all the beauty that shines in you and me. We are the living, breathing God, and you are one in me. We are called to be, called to be. We are called to be peace, patience, kindness, love. We are called to be love, kindness. Oh, we are called to be. We are called to be. And now the illustrious voice of Robert Bob Poncé as he leads us forward in our service with the affirmation of this house at 318 West 139th Street. And you still have a chance to come and be with us if you like. But you can hang out in your living room or in your kitchen and eat some breakfast and be with us. Bob?
Isaiah 55 verse 11 says, "So shall my word be that goes out from my mouth. It shall not return to me empty, but it shall accomplish that which I purpose, and shall succeed in the thing for which I sent it." Unity affirmations speak to the power of our words, and particularly the power of I am. And so we say this affirmation every Sunday to affirm our divine nature. The words are on the screen, and I invite you to say them with me. I am an abundant, radiating center of God's love and light for peace, healing, and inner truth for all.
And in Unity style, we're going to move on with a Michael Gott song, "I Will Make a Quiet Place within my heart, my soul. And I will wait upon the Lord, be of good courage, I'll run and not be weary. I will make a quiet place." Come on and sing. "A quiet place within my heart. I will make a quiet place. I will make a quiet place within my soul. A quiet place within my soul. And I will wait upon the Lord. And I will wait upon the Lord." Wait upon the Lord. I'll make a quiet place. I will make a quiet place. A quiet place within my heart. I will make a quiet place within my soul. A quiet place within my soul. And I will wait upon the Lord. Wait upon the Lord. I will make a quiet place. I will make a quiet place. A quiet place within my heart. Soul, I will make a quiet place. A quiet place within my soul. And I will wait upon the Lord. Wait upon the Lord. Wait upon the Lord. Be still, my soul, be still. 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 And now that we have just centered our hearts and our souls and our minds in a peaceful and exuberant and maybe zeal-filled way, let us welcome. Oh, but first, wait, what was that? I saw something flash on the screen. Can you flash that back? Tommy Thompson. Great, good rising to you, emoji man. Unity, family, love, victory. God bless. And I'm so excited that you're healing, and you shared your healing with us all these weeks. Thank you so much. That's amazing. Isn't God great? Yay! Everybody give a high hand clap. Woo! Yes. Thank you. Thanks for sharing with us, Tommy Thompson, and anybody else who wants to just weigh in. That's fine. Let's welcome, as Bob just did, Reverend Linda Martella-Whitsett. Yeah, I'm sure she has some amazing things to say to us. Linda.
Good morning, friends. Good morning. What a real pleasure it is to be with you today in the way that's possible, right? Nice, easy way. I'm celebrating Sunday here in Bradenton, Florida, where I live on the west coast of Florida. So it's a delight. And I really thank Reverend Ogan for the study of divine audacity that you've all embarked upon, and also for the opportunity to share some thoughts with you today about this subject. Man, it's an encompassing subject, is it not? Our divine identity. And I often think to myself, why do we get consumed by this? Why do we persist? Why do we strive to be the light of the world? Why do we keep pressing in the direction? Why do we hunger to be more authentically a spiritual light? Several years ago, probably a dozen years ago, I read this from Charles Fillmore in his book, Talks on Truth. And it has been my mandate ever since. Let me share it with you. It is your mission to express all that you can imagine God to be. Let this be your standard of achievement. Never lower it, nor ever allow yourself to be belittled by the cry of sacrilege. You can attain to anything that you can imagine. If you can imagine that it is possible to God, it is also possible to you. In the very next paragraph, Fillmore says something to the effect of, stop trying to disprove this, for this is the law. So, you can see that, when I was going through a lot of questioning about the unity principles that I had taken on in ministry, right? And I was having questions about the nature of the divine and my own relationship, and really kind of grappling with the embedded theology that I had been raised with, in a Catholic setting. this called to me. This really touched a deep knowing inside of me to say, oh, it's not enough to just worship God. It's not enough to just, praise Jesus, to see Jesus as the light. No, it's our mission. It's my mission to embody that, to take on the challenge of being a divine human being, right? I mean, and Fillmore didn't make this up. You know this very well. I mean, Ernest Holmes had said, it has been said that we can know God only insofar as we can become God. Oh, you can hear Fillmore's calling out to, don't worry about sacrilege, because what is somebody going to say to you when you say, I am divine? Well, who do you think you are? You can't be God. And what I understand is we are divine. To call it God is problematic in the world that would really press up against that idea. And even my own upbringing, my own enculturation had led to me to really feel like that was an impossible ask, right? But to not be able to be all that God is, as no human can, doesn't mean that I can't embody something of that power, something of that presence. And that is any one or more of our 12 powers are accessible ways for us to see the power of the divine that we are, that we can bring to light into the world, you see. And Jesus said it, and he was quoting the scriptures that he was raised on when he said, let me tell you, you are God's sons and daughters of the Most High, every one of you. And in the Gospel of Thomas, the non-canonized version or account of Jesus's teachings, which were so self-determining, you can see why they weren't included in the canonical scriptures, because it points to where the power is, right? When Jesus says, when you see me, you see the Father, right? So it's an audacious mission, wouldn't you say, that's why I called the book Divine Audacity, because it's spiritual boldness. And doesn't it take a little boldness to be able to climb into the seat of power, right? To be able to sit in the seat of spiritual authority for matters of my own life, and to be able to help the world around me to be a positive contributor to the understanding of our spiritual power, our capacity. So, for me, one of the ways that I know this is my mission is because I suffer when I'm not about that mission. How about you? I mean, I suffer when I feel disconnected from others, in fractured relationships, in scarcity mindset, in worthiness issues. I suffer when I pull myself out of oneness, when I step away from the fact, the truth that I am a divine being. And I think we're hardwired for oneness. We have a need, an intuitive, instinctive need to belong, to feel connected. We're longing for that state of being. And so, we want to be freed from the mirage of separateness and to feel empowered to contribute our best divine human self to the world. How many times have you said to yourself things like, I wish I could tell the truth to myself more often. I can't recall the last time I had a full-on temper tantrum, but I believe it would be good for me. If I could just sit still with my discontent. If I'm yearning to be the best version, an expansive version of myself. I want to be an advocate for the underserved among us, a voice for the voiceless, a champion for the underdog, so to speak. Or I long to be bolder, to speak up and to stand up for my values more deliberately. The essence of our longing, I believe, no matter the words with which we describe it, is this: I want to matter. I want to belong. I want to contribute. I want to be the light in the world, right? So here's the challenge for me and maybe for you, like with these body of teachings that we have access to, why do I hold back? Why do I press sometimes right up to the edge of oneness and then pull back from it? Remain separate in consciousness. Well, I know for me that over re-educating myself from my childhood indoctrination into separation mind. I mean, we were inducted into Western culture, a whole realm of understanding that says that humans are sinful and weak. Who do you think you are? Right? That whole collective consciousness has been patterned in us, whether we subscribe to it consciously or not. There's underpinnings of it and it plays out continuously in the world. And also misunderstanding would cause me to hold back, right? I mean, Charles Fillmore understood this. He said, if you're looking at yourself or any other man, he used the word man to describe humanity. I'm going to use his original language for this because he wrote this over 100 years ago. If you're looking at yourself or any other man in any way, but as the God man, and let's translate that in the 21st century as divine human, right? The God man, the divine human, you are really lying to yourself or about others. So I think, I can take on one quality of the divine, one attribute, one capacity, spiritual capacity, one light, one power. And I can lead with that. So if I'm embarking on a job search, maybe I harness the visionary power of imagination so I can conceive of a job that would utilize my talents and skills and my preferences, right? I can hold to that. I can envision what life looks like when I am in a fulfilling role and one that is rewarding in every sense of the word, right? And then I can embody that to such a degree that I see it. I see the options that are there for me and I move forward. When I'm worried over my health, I can call in and up strength, the stability to know the truth of wholeness, even in the midst of these really difficult human conditions, right? I can act with courage to determine what course of action I'm going to take. And I can remain tenacious to stay on track, not only with my medical protocol, but with my spiritual practice, you see. Wow, I can do this in times of uncertainty or chaotic circumstances. I can employ the adjusting power of order. I can move through space and time and shift as the circumstances shift in a healthy, not just coping way, but a way that provides me the capacity to see order where it doesn't look very orderly, you see. So just for a moment, bring to mind someone who maybe you have kicked out of your kingdom, or maybe not that serious, maybe just somebody, you're grumbling about, right? Somebody who you've been feeling annoyed by their behaviors or something, right? The unifying power of divine love, to employ that at such a time seems so contrary, because right, what I want to do naturally is separate from that person, give myself some distance from it. But what I have learned spiritually is when I dive into divine love, the unifying power, and I dare myself, I in fact command of my consciousness to see myself in them, to dive underneath the disagreement, the chasm between our worldviews. What if I would do what Ram Dass said about himself? He said, I make the effort to see and to passionately open in love to the spirit that infuses all things. I make the effort to see the beloved in everyone and to serve the beloved through everyone. I often fail in these aspirations because I lose the balance between separateness and unity. I get lost in my separateness and feel afraid, but I make the effort. So, this is it. I mean, another prophet of our times, my favorite, Kermit the Frog, sang, "It's not easy being green." Do you remember that? The Kermit the Frog. I laugh at that because I love Kermit. I love frogs. I'm a frog lover. And so it's not easy being green. Well, it's not easy being the light of the world either, is it? But it's not only possible, it's really essential. Do you feel the tenor of our times and how essential it is for those of us who see the truth about humanity, the light that we are capable of shining into this world, that we actually step up into the seat of service to display this light? Whew. So you know as well as I do that my doing springs from my being. What I know myself to be is what underlies my habits, my thoughts, my words, my actions, you see, right? And so what if I were to really get clear about the fact that, and the truth that I am 100% human, and the human me has human experiences to deal with, and we need to deal with humanly. But it's not the whole of us. The whole of us is human and divine. I am 100% divine and 100% human. And when I can't see that divine in myself, when I feel overtaken by my human circumstances, here's the chance to really employ divine audacity. Here's the chance to call upon any one of my capacities. They're innate because they're part of my 100% human and divine beingness, right? And without my humanity, I'm not whole. Without my spirituality or my divinity, I'm not whole. I am 100% human divine, right? And for me to really study those more subtle faculties of my spirituality and to begin to employ them deliberately in my day, that's where my life becomes a light, where what I shine in the world becomes a conscious shining of light. You see what I mean? And you know this. Look, I'm telling you what you already know. Maybe I'm saying it in some words that maybe trigger for you a new sense of inspiration for it, a new readiness. That's my hope, right? It's like the story of the geode. I have a geode on my my desk behind me, on my station behind me. A geode, when it's closed, just looks like a rock, like a one among the gajillion rocks you might find on the hillside, right? Or in the high desert. But what happens when you crack that particular rock open that's a geode? Inside is just the sparkling array of beautiful gems, multicolored, glowing, and each one is unique. Each geode has a remarkably unique display of those. That's us. That's the inside of you and me. We have this inner beauty, this sparkling, beautiful lights that we are. But here's the key, or here's for me where the rubber meets the road. Like when I wrote Divine Audacity, I became acutely aware of how I've always had these capacities, and they're always there. They're always within us, right? They're innate. They're part of our spiritual DNA. But if I don't use them, if I don't bring them out and practice them, they remain as potentiality. They're there. They're just kind of in the background, It's like playing seeing a piano in your living room, and if you never sit down on that keyboard, you might have all the musical talent in the world, but if you don't practice it, if you don't learn to master that instrument, then you don't make the music that is within you. And that's all it is. There's nothing wrong or right about it. It's a matter of choosing to be deliberately relying upon and expressing, proving these principles in our life, right? To be able to say, I know this is true about, this is the source. God is the source. Love is the source. And so if I am going to reflect that source, let me know that I also am light. I am the light of love. God is love. I am love. And what can I do with that power? How am I going to display that in my life today? This is the work for us spiritually, to embody, not just to allow it to flow through me. Yeah, we have to allow it, because allowing it means that I'm connected to it, that I'm seeing it, that I'm willingly displaying these powers. But I'm going to lead with these powers. I'm going to display them. It's not passive. They're not flowing through me and out into the world. I employ the power. I employ the power. And therefore, I embody love, strength, imagination, release any power that I know. The Gospel of Philip, which is one of the Gnostic scriptures that was found among the Nag Hammadi collection in 1954. The Gospel of Philip says this, and I want to close this message with this. It is impossible to see anything in the real realm, the spiritual realm, unless you become it. Not so in the world. You see the sun without being the sun. You see the sky and the earth, but you are not them. This is the truth in the world. In the other truth, in the truth, you are what you see. If you see spirit, you are spirit. If you look at the anointed, you are the anointed. If you see the Father, you are the Father. In this world, you see everything but yourself. But there, in truth, you look at yourself and you are what you see. Friends, there's no more urgent time in the world. I mean, here we are. We were born for this. And in the beautiful reading that Annette brought forth in the reading from Divine Audacity, yes, I was made for this. I was made for this time. You and I are here. It's no accident. We're here as consciousness in life to contribute in our very own way, with our very own set of superpowers to be able to shine light into this world. So my call for action is for each one of us to more intently study and utilize one power at a time. Choose a power, pick a power, any power, it works. That's what I like to say. Pick a power, any power, it works. But do employ it, do practice it, and allow yourself to be the light of the world. As A Course in Miracles said, and this really strikes me because I wasn't a student of Course in Miracles, but this is another way to express my mandate. Today, I will accept the truth about myself. I will arise in glory and allow the light in me to shine upon the world today. It is your mission to express all that you can imagine God to be. And so it is. Thank you, beloveds. Thank you so much for your time and attention on this. And let's let it lead us directly into a meditation where you enter your own posture for prayer, please. Allow yourself to sit in a way that's comfortable and relaxed, and yet remain alert, mentally, spiritually alert. Mm-hmm. Take the time right now to be fully in your body. start by blessing this miraculous, magnificent, essential way of expressing life, your physicality. Bless your breath, your pulse, the universe of cells, tissues, and organs that all together comprise your physical operating system. Bless your health and vitality, physical strength and flexibility. Now focus on your emotions. Honor them, whatever they are, whatever you are aware of in this moment emotionally, honor it, knowing that emotions are appropriate and essential. Just hold them gently. And now bring your attention to the edge of your body, all the way out to the external aspect of your skin, the largest organ in your physical body. And right there, where your skin meets the atmosphere around you, just notice temperature difference. Notice what you notice about you and the universe. And just for a moment, in your imagination, erase the perceived border. Just like take an art eraser in your mind and just smudge those edges so you open out into infinity. So that this permeable skin is not locking you in as separate, that you in fact are all a part of all that is infinity itself, Jesus's kingdom of the heavens right here. The you that is in the expanse, even beyond your physicality, the spiritual you. Invisible, yet able to be experienced. State of wholeness, oneness. Here, where there is no absence, only presence. The presence of infinite love, life, wisdom, peace, power. Presence. Join me in a moment of pure silence to revel in presence, to be presence. From this perspective of infinity, look upon your physical being and your body of human circumstances. And right here, turn on the light of healing love. Turn on the adjusting power of order, intuitive wisdom, of any principle that you need for this day. Bathe in infinite wholeness, in oneness, in well-being. As you affirm, I am whole. I am one. I am a divine human. I am a divine human. Take a breath, and as you breathe out, repeat to yourself, I am a divine human. And so it is. And as we conclude this period of meditation, friends, bring to mind maybe that person that we talked about in the during the message, that person that you may be having some struggle with. Bring to mind those in your life that you've been thinking about, that you might be having worried about, people who have asked you outright for prayer support. Bring to mind your own prayer needs in this moment, and apply the very same affirmation, the very same knowledge that you are cultivating about you. Know it about them. They are a divine human, imbued with all the infinity of love, life, wisdom, strength, power that they could possibly need for what they're facing. All prayer requests are intentions for power. So we see them, and so it is, and so it is. Well, it was a real honor to celebrate with you today. And I know in part of our celebration includes the sharing of our gifts. I mean, this is a divine exchange of wonder and gifts. So friends, in whatever way you support your community, be intentional about it right now, whether you give online, whether you're sitting in the sanctuary and handing in an envelope, whether you have an automatic, gift that goes on a regular basis. You know how you support your community, and you know what's important to you to demonstrate prosperity in your own life. So we have this beautiful opportunity to share in abundance, to know there's no such thing as not enough. And so giving from a place of real appreciation this morning, will you share with me in the words on the screen here this affirmation together? Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, all that I receive, and all that I am.
I was so engrossed, Bob had to call me and say, Annette, get up. As I said, I would be back, and I am. And first, since we're talking about community, I want to give a shout out again to Reverend Ogenholder for June 1st is his actual birthday. I know I mentioned it last week in preparation, but so it's tomorrow. And Reverend Ogenholder will be in person starting June 14th, and he will be here for, I think, 3 Sundays. So please make an effort to come out. Also, we're going to be celebrating Father's Day again this year. And as I think each year we just change it just a tad. So this year will be another rendition of how we celebrate fathers. And that will be on June 21st here at Unity in Harlem. And as Marie aptly names the location that I totally forget, and that's 318 West 139th Street, between Frederick Douglass and Edgecombe Avenue. I want to now talk about what's going on at Unity in Harlem during the week. We have a Zoom connection, and I will say it just in case, but you will also see it on the screen. And the number is 698-428-2725. And if you wish to come in by phone, it's first 929-205-6099, and then 698-428-2725. And both ways have the same passcode of 777-7777. Our Wednesday study group studying, as Reverend Linda Martella-Whitsett said, we were studying divine audacity, and now it is on break. We have finished the book, but if you had been inspired, please get it. It is just as rewarding to read it outside of a group than in a group. So, and it's broken down into chapters, and you can choose to read about light, or read about wisdom, or read about will, or read about strength, or read about power. They're separate chapters. So I encourage you to do it. We really had an enlightening time and an encouraging time for ourselves to use when those times of adversity come, to pull on those powers that, or those faculties, or those abilities that we have, that we are walking around in. I read something recently where a young man was talking about a friend who was far away in another country, and the friend is an artist, and she does wonderful things with cloth. But what touched me was, he said, "I hope she knows that she is the light in the world, and the light that shines on me." And light is one of our faculties. So giving, you draw something, draw a card and send it to someone. You are being the light in their lives. The Wednesday Unity in Harlem meditation and prayer circle still meets on Wednesday, 2 times during Wednesday at 10 a.m. And you just call in with the Zoom connection, and at 6 p.m. And Reverend Ogun is always able to be reached for pastoral care, and this number we will see on the screen. It is a telephone number, not a Zoom. So the number is 978-992-7297. The Celebrating Our Soul conference that will be held August 13th to 16th this year is the registration is open, and you will see it on the screen. Thank you, Bob. It is a great time to come and be in the atmosphere of new thought. If as what you are hearing today, you can be reinforced with that information coming to the conference for those 4 days. It is at Unity Village in Missouri, in just outside of Kansas City, Missouri, called Lee's Summit. 3 airlines have relative discounts for the flights. That's Delta, United, and Southwest. The website, celebratingOurSoul.org. You can find that information. You can register online. It also has a component for youth 8 to 18 years old. And if you decide to come, which I hope you will, please decide to volunteer during the service, during the conference. And it does not impede on any of the activities you will do. But as you know, volunteers are the heart of any kind of event. So I encourage you to go to the website, and also they've changed and upgraded the website, and you can see more dimensions of what will be available to you. So that's celebratingOurSoul.org, or People of African Descent New Thought Group. Just take the first letters of those words, .org, and you will have all the information that you need. And if you go, you'll see me. Next Sunday, what is next Sunday? The 7th, yeah? Yes. June 7th, the guest speaker will be Reverend Juan Enrique Toro. And you are familiar with him, and if you are not, you are also in for another treat. So thank you very much. And this ends the announcements, and I will turn the program back over to Marie. So thank you for coming, and Marie, thank you for singing.
Thank you so much. We have so many beautiful people here that have so many great things to say. It's so wonderful to just be here in the midst of all of this. Yeah, so let's top this off with a beautiful song by Ricky Byers. It says, blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant as we rest in God and say amen. Everybody, let's sing together. I'm going to do it a cappella. Here we go. Blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say amen again. Blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say amen. One more time. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say amen. I think we're going to see that song in a very different way after this talk, aren't we? Blessed, 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 blessed. All blessed, right?
That's right. Well, and another opportunity we have is to say the prayer for protection with an echo of I am, because this allows us to connect with it's not just happening outside to us, but that all these powers are what we are and what we bring to the world. So, in my opinion, this really honors the poet laureate James Dillett Freeman for the evolution of unity mind today. So let's say the prayer for protection together. The light of God surrounds us.
Surround us.
We are the light of
Light
God.
of God.
The
The
love of
love of
God
God
enfolds us.
enfolds us.
We
are
are the
the
love of
love
God.
of God.
The
The
power of
power
God
of God
protects us.
us.
We
We
are
are
the
the
power of
power
God.
of God.
The presence
The
of
presence
God
of God
watches over
over
us.
us.
We
We
are the
are the
presence
presence
of
of
God.
God.
Wherever we
Wherever we
are,
are,
God
God
is,
is,
and all
and
is
all
well.
is well.
And I will add, and we are divine. We are divine. And so it is.
So it is.
Yes.
All right. So now I guess we can do the peace song. Everybody stand if you want to. Stretch and take in all this that you've heard today. And we'll sing the peace song together. Oh, thanks, Bacon. Let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me. Thanks, Tommy. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be with God as creator. Family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this Take each moment and live each moment with peace eternally. Thanks, Jackson Jr. Let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me. Yay. Wow. I'm just reminded of Jonah and all of the people in the Bible. They were transformed into that divine place. Jonah, can you imagine? And Joseph, all these people. Thanks for coming with us. Thanks for being with us today. And thank you so much, Linda. Oh, before we go, Bob's pulling something up that's very important. Aha, yes. Reverend Linda Martella-Whitsett. Books are found at UR, that's lowercase UR dash DIVINE divine.com. UR dash divine.com. So you can, there are some marvelous other books besides just Divine Audacity. Check it out. Look it up. Oh, there we go. There we go. How to Pray Without Talking to God. That's a great book. Wow. And that says the great book. Discover your divinity, Divine Audacity, which we already know. And then this life. This life is yours. So you get lots of choices. Thank you so much for being with us, Linda.
It was a real pleasure. Happy Sunday, everyone, and happy life.
Happy life to you too. Oh, and say hello. I have cousins and aunts over there in Bradenton.
Yay, cool.
And Sarasota.
Cool.
Yay. All right.